All right, all right. So we are live, right? So kindly confirm that you're able to hear me and you're able to see the screen, and everything is clear. So kindly confirm before we proceed. Kiros, are you able to see me? Are you able to see my slide? And are you able to, uh, you know, is my voice audible? Perfect, perfect. So today we want to look at a different topic altogether, and I'm glad that we have so many people joining from different areas. We've interacted before. My name is Evans Rabare, and I will be leading this training. And with me on the chat box is my colleague now, Ledesa, who will be just moderating the session. So kindly, just let me know what you expect. So that we can learn together. So today we want to look at how to implement Google Workspace across your business. So remember, this was used to be known as G Suite, but the name was changed to Google Workspace. So as usual, we have the three agendas that we're going to look at. First, we are going to look at how to discover Google Workspace. Thereafter, we're going to look at how to boost communication across your business. And then finally, we are going to look at how to leverage on tools to increase your collaboration. So actually, this is what you're going to talk about. Let me show you what you're going to talk about. So in your Gmail, for instance, in your Gmail, there is usually a family of, apps. Let me just share my screen so that I can show you what you're going to talk about. So we are going to look at all right. So this is what you're going to look at. So are you able to see my screen? So when you're talking about Google Workspaces, we are talking about this family of Google apps such as Search, Google My Business, Map. We're talking about Gmail, we're talking about Meet, we're talking about Chat, we're talking about Contacts, we're talking about Drive, we're talking about Calendar, we're talking about Photos, we're talking about sheets, we're talking about docs, we're talking about blogs, we're talking about Hangouts, we're talking about arts and culture. So this is the family of apps that we're going to talk about. So initially they were called the G Suite, but the name was changed to Google Workspace for Business. So in today's session, we're going to look at what is Jambobot, how can you use Google Sheets to work collaboratively, how can you use Hangout and all that. So this is just to prepare you of what you expect. So when you talk about Google Workspace, we are talking about a family of apps developed by Google, and those apps we can use them collaboratively to improve our business. So as I mentioned, we have three agendas, and the first one we're going to look at how to discover Google Workspace, and also we are going to look at the core functionality as well as the benefits of using this digital workspace. And again, you're going to look at how to identify or how to boost communication across your business. And finally, you're going to look at how to leverage on tools to increase your collaboration. And this brings me to this question: what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business, or within your friend circle, or within your school? So, what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Let me hear what you guys are thinking. What tools are you currently using? What tools are you currently using? Are you using Google Meet? Are you using the Google Chat? Which tools are you currently using to communicate? Or is it Skype? Just let me know. Let me know what tools that you're currently using so that we can it's okay, Samuel Bekele. We've just started, so we've not really gone so far. So, as you guys are thinking about the tools that you are currently using, let me give a shout out to the guys who've just joined. So I can see we started with Naol, just welcoming everybody into the chat and just explaining to the people that it is through this chat box is where now you will be channeling your thought, asking questions, and seeking clarifications. And we had Hannah Tesema joining. Also, we had Tigi Solomon joining. Henok, thank you for joining. Nafkot Tesfa, thank you also for being part of the training. We can also see Haptamu joining. And also we have Tesfai. So Amana with Tesfai joining, and Amana is from Addis Ababa. So right here from Addis Ababa, we have Sarah joining from Addis Ababa. Kiros is also joining. We have Wogerep Tube joining, so Bethlehem Samson joining, Tefara Moline also joining. We have so the house is full of people joining. So we want to make it very interactive, and that is you guys are doing, which is very very important. So as I said, we are talking about how to implement Google Workspaces for your business, and it could be also how to implement Google Workspaces for your studies, or for your communication. So we have right now I'm asking what tools do you currently use to collaborate or to communicate within your business. So as you think about that one, now let us look at the first agenda, which is discover Google Workspace. And do you currently use Google Workspace? And if so, how do you use it? Have you ever used a calendar? Or have you ever used a Google Sheet? Or have you ever used a Google Doc or a Drive? And if so, how? So that is what the question is asking. Because when I talk about Google Workspace, we are talking about a family of applications, or a family of tools that are being used in they complement each other. So they're being used collaboratively. So, have you ever been in a situation whereby, somebody has sent for you a file, and the file has been sent onto your drive, and you need to access it through your drive? Or have you ever been in a situation whereby you are able to, save files, or you're able to work on a Google Sheet? If you've been in such a situation, then it means you've used, Google Workspace. So, what do you mean when you talk about Google Workspace? So, Google Workspace used to be known as the G Suite. It is an example of a digital workspace. So, digital workspace enables people to work online wherever there's a stable internet connection. So, for you to effectively use Google Workspace, you need to have a stable internet connection. So, Google Workspace in particular is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration of tools, which I've just mentioned that we have a family of tools which are being used together. So, what Google Workspace does, it enables users to create documents, spreadsheets, which I'm going to demonstrate more about this. And of course, we're going to look at all these tools. Like when you talk about Jumbo Board, how can you use this Jumbo Board? When you talk about arts and culture and all that. So, and the most important aspect about Google Workspace is the security bit. You can also store files and information safely and securely. So it is a cloud computing, and therefore the security aspect has been uh, ensured, and the security. So there is security. So let us look at the tools that are available under this Google Workspace. So if you look at The tools that we have there, you can see Gmail, you can see Calendar, you can see Drive, you can see Meet, you can see Google Docs, Sheet, Jumbo Board, Current, among others. So, so remember, so there are a few other tools included on Google Current, which we're going to discuss later on. So let us look at the core functionality of Google Workspace. So remember, I'm going to do a practical session on how to use a Jumbo board, how to use Current and podcast. But for now, I'm just highlighting on the family of tools that are available under Google Workspace. So these are the core functionality of Google Workspace, and I'm pretty sure that for you guys who are on the chat box, you must have interacted with this in one way or another. When you're sending emails or when you're scheduling a meeting, you must have interacted with this Google Workspace tools. So you can create a document and a presentation, and of course we have so the presentation that you're currently seeing has been hosted on the cloud, and you're able to receive it live, so you're able to create documents and presentations. You're also able to record, analyze, and present data using Google Sheet. You're also able to brainstorm ideas, manage projects, and store files, and this is possible through Google Currents. You can also communicate globally. And how do you communicate globally? So there is a chat. So on your Gmail, there is the part for the chat box where you can also just connect with somebody and chat directly. So let us look at how you can create a document and a presentation. So for you to create a document and a presentation, you can use docs or slides. So I think let me just do this practically. So let me just share my screen so that I can do it practically. It's better that way. So we are talking about how to create. All right. So let me go to my screen and show you how you can create a doc. I'm sharing my screen shortly. So this is my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen, and this is now my email, right? So there are various ways how you can access these docs. One way is through going into your email and clicking onto the Google apps. Once you've clicked onto the Google apps, then now you scroll to where now you scroll up to where the where the docs are, or even the sheets. So when you do that, perfect. So this is where now the document is. So when you want to create a document, you just come to a blank sheet here and say you create click blank, and here comes the document. So here, if you look at this document, it's similar to Microsoft Word because it has the file section, it has the edit section, the view, the format, and also it has if you want the different font styles, you can come here and choose which font style that you want to use, and also you can also just increase the font size. You can also come and just change the text style. You can also name the document. For here we can name it trial. So this is a trial document, and this are you able to see my screen? Are you able to? Let me see if you're able to see my screen. Sorry. Just give me a thumbs up if you're able to see my screen. So, perfect. So I was talking about how you can use docs, and I realized that I was not sharing my screen. So give it time to load. Perfect. So if you look at this doc, it is similar to Microsoft Word, and I've just mentioned how you can you can do a lot from this document. So here you can, you can just type, everything that you can type in the Word. And if you are 5 people working on the document, you need to share. So for instance, if I want to share this document with somebody so that somebody can help me to work on this document, I can say, okay, let me share this document with Naol, for instance. Let me say Naol, and Naol will come and also help me to work on this document. So we can say this Naol, or I can say, let me share this document with, awesome. So I can say, let me share this document with Naol. When I do that, I will give him the access. And then once he accepts, now will also be able to just type with me here. And you can also change a lot of things. You can also change the font style. You can also change the color of the printing, and there is so much more. Also, you can also upload. So if you have a document already, what you can do is just upload. So these are documents that are created, but there is where now you can upload a document. So again, also, let me show you how you can also, so that is on the Word document. So you see now, now has accepted this, and now is also able to say hello, and I'm also able to say, how are you? So we are working on this document collaboratively, and I can invite so many people to be working on this document. So if there was some typing that needs to be done, and we have a strict timeline, it means we'll be able to finish this job within a short period of time. That is how these live documents are very, very important. The same also applies to Google Sheets, for instance. So here I can just look for any Google Sheet. Just let me see if there is any Google Sheet that I can work on. So Google Sheet. Perfect. So okay, all right. So that is an example. So let's move forward to the presentation again. So we've started looking at the family of the apps, and I've just shown you how you can use docs. So I've shown you how you can create a doc and the presentation. Now let us look at how you can analyze and record data using an Excel sheet. So let me look for a sheet that already has some data. One that already has some data is which one here? Or let me just create one from scratch. There's no harm in creating one from scratch. So let me create some data here. Google Sheet. Google Sheet. So I want us to look at how you can use Google Sheets to Google Sheet. Perfect. So just give me a thumbs up that you're able to see my Google Sheet. So here I have some other sheets that were shared with me. Perfect. So you're able to see my. So if I want to create a blank sheet, I will come to click on blank. Once I've done that now, it will generate a blank sheet. So this is now the blank sheet. So from here, if you look at it, it's similar to Excel. So here you can say the name, you can write name, you can say date, and you can also say maybe the venue. So this is a new one. But let us look at one that has already been populated. For instance, one that's already populated, so that you can use it to see how we can. So for instance, let me use this one. So there's one here called name set. So in this one here, you can actually see your name. So if I wanted to filter, so what I can do, I can just click on here, filter, So when I click on filter, it will ask me, I want to save it as a filter, which is that. And then now, if I want to filter the names of people whose names are, maybe I wanted to filter only a set only. When I do that now, I'll be able to just have only the details of a setter. But if I wanted to filter everybody, I will just come here and select all and filter all. So if I had different, different volume of data, I will come and say, okay, let me filter the guys who did the training, and the date they did the training was 30th. I will click this and say okay, and then it will give me that data. So this way, with Google Sheets, you're able to record data, you're able to filter, and you're able to uh, and you're able to do so much more. And you can also analyze that as well. So analysis is now the filtering that I was doing. So for instance, if I had different people, and these different people, they did a training on different day, I will say, let me filter the people who did the training on 1st June, and then it will give me the details. But if there are people who did the training on 30th, I can filter, and I can also move forward and filter, filter the emails. For this case, I only have one email, but if I had different email, I will come and filter and say, okay, now let me do that. And that's it. It's pretty much simple. So if you've interacted with Excel before, it should not be a challenge for you to do that. So we've looked at so so Google Forms are very easy to create, and you can also collect data using the forms. You can also create custom forms for survey, questionnaires, and at an extra cost. So there is also, when you go to Google Forms, you can create you can create a form, and in that form you can create a form whereby you'll be asking people for their name, email number, and their phone number. When you do that, so when people will be filling, that information will be recorded. So actually what I can do is uh, so that you can just do it, let me create a form, and then I will share the form with you in the training there, so that you people can fill it very fast, and you're going to see how Google Form works. So I'm just creating a short form, and this form, I only need you to write your name and your email address. That is all I need, and I'm going to show you how the lists are coming. So I'm just creating it now. I want to share it on the perfect. So that's a Google form. So I want to create a blank form. And in this form, I want to name it trial. Huh? I want to name it trial. And in this trial, I want to say, okay, I want you guys to write your name. Your name, that is one. And then I want you guys to write your second, your email address. Email address, email address. And then I want to preview this and see how it looks. So this is now if I perfect. So this one, so this is the form that I want you guys to fill. So once you fill that, I'll be able to see how many, All right, so from this sheet, let me go to now the responses. I'll be able to see the responses. So I'm just waiting for you guys to fill it, and then I'll be able to see the responses. How many, so that we know how the forms works. So the form work, when you write details, the details are recorded, and the aspect of recording is coming out. So let me see how many have written their name in that form, so that we can see on the responses. So far it's 0. I'm waiting for some responses, a few responses, so that when you open the responses, we'll be able to see one response is coming, two responses are coming. So I'd love to. So now you should be starting. So just write. So using the form, just write a few, your details there, so that I can quickly show you how through the form you can be recording details of people. And so from here, it's still zero. So if somebody writes the name and the email addresses, the responses will change to 1, 2, 3, 4, and and to the rest. And that is how forms are very, very crucial in just helping us coming up with the database. So perfect. So I can see there is one response that has been written there. So if you look at that response, Pius has filled it. So it's telling you three responses. Perfect. So when you come here, you're able to see Pius has written, Naul has written, Bekele Woku has written, Enoch has also written, and the emails are here. So that is how forms are very, very important for as a business owner, for you to just come up with a record of your clients. So if you are struggling of getting to know the details of your clients, just create a simple form and tell them to fill this form. And this form will be able to record, the details. And this is what we've done. Thank you so much, Pius, Naol, Bekele, and Henok for filling this form. So that is how you can record, analyze, and present data. So when you want to analyze, Google Sheet. When you want to record data, Google Forms. And when you want to present, that is now when now you use now the docs. So thank you so much, guys. So let me go back to my slide. Responses are coming. I can see also Samuel Mulugeta has also, filled the form, which is a good thing. So thank you so much, guys. So moving on now to, what we're discussing about now, about the Google Workspaces for your business. We've looked at the form, we've looked at the sheet. So we want to look at what are the benefits that are being brought by this Google Workspaces. So there is increased collaboration. So remember when I created a Google Doc and I invited Naol to help me just type on it. So that is the aspect of increased collaboration. And then now there is improved communication. So communication is through, it could be through the Google Meet, or it through the Hangout, or it could be through the sheet itself. So remember, under the sheet, I was able to say hi to Naol. Naol was able to respond immediately. So that is how now the improved communication. There is also smarter working, and then there is enhanced security. So remember, the doc, we were working together with Naol. Nobody knew what was happening except me and Naol, because I had given him access. So these Google Workspace products or tools are, they are being hosted on the cloud, and therefore there is a security. There is now the enhanced security bit on it. So wherever you're using these Google Workspace tools, don't be worried about the security, because uh, the security has been enhanced. So Google Workspace, they store your information in the cloud, and I've mentioned that. And the fact that they've been stored in the cloud, they enable you to share documents and files with ease and live. You simply share the file URL or share the document via an email, and then you encourage your teams to collaborate and share ideas. You can also restrict editing access to certain people to view it. So in the document there, we have three rights. There's the part for when I when I send you access that says view only, the only thing you can see is just view. You view, and there is nothing more that you can do. When I send comment, or what you can do is just comment on the document, just comment, and I'll be able to see your comment. But if I send you the edit rights, then it means you can delete everything that is there. You can edit everything that is there. So edit means you have the full right. The best part with this, you can also track changes. you can comment with ideas and also work with colleagues across the projects. How cool is that? So remember, we never used to have this before. We used to have a situation whereby, when you go to the cyber, you give the cyber person, a 10 page for her to type for you, and it could take days. Now we have a situation whereby, 5 people can work on that document, and within 1 hour or less, you have a document ready. So now let us look at, remember we talked about improved communication. So when you're talking about improved communication, we're talking about, so Google Workspaces has a number of communication tools included in it. And I mentioned those tools. I mentioned Gmail as one of the tools that we use, as a communication tools. Also Google Meet, and what Google Meet offers is the aspect of video. So you are able to see somebody, to video call and see somebody in real time. There is also the aspect of the Google Current. So we are going to look at this Google Current. So currents, so revolutionary technology to harness deeper communication, and also there is the aspect of Google Chat. So when you're talking about improved communication, it comes out in four different tools: Gmail, where you can email somebody; Google Meet, the video aspect is coming in. We have Google Currents, so it's just a tool that's happen. It harnesses the deeper communication, and we also have the Google Chat. So how many in the chat box have used Google Chat or Hangout? And how many have used Google Meet? So this one, so remember Google Meet before COVID, it was not popular. And then when COVID came, then you hear people saying, have a meeting in 30 minutes. Let me call you later. I so many terms that came out through as a result of COVID. So let us look at how, Google Workspaces help us to work smarter. Working smarter. So when we're talking about working smarter, we're talking about using Google Workspaces to help your team work smarter but not harder. Why? You can collect, analyze, and turn data into insights both from customers or and from your team. And this harness your data and knowledge to make a better decision. So remember when I was playing around with a sheet that was called NameSet, what I was doing, I was trying to get insights into that data. I was trying to look at the attendees who did a training on 30th, attendees who did training on first, and attendees who took place on maybe building your digital marketing strategy, or build your online presence and sell. So I was just trying to analyze and just trying to come up, just trying to get some insights when I was doing that. You can also use Google Workspace to streamline your workflows and processes. You can also store and manage files, communicate and collaborate via one central system. Also, people can find the exact file, content, and knowledge they need. So remember, uh, before Google Workspaces, we used to have a filing system. So in the office, when you go, you could find big wardrobes. And in those wardrobes, you could have files from up and down. And those files, what happens if there is fire in the office, and all the files are burnt? What happens? So, like, if you had all the files of all your employees with all the sensitive data, and something happens, there is an electric fault, or there is some fire, something, and then the whole office burnt down, and all the data are turned into ashes. What will happen? If you never had any backup, it means now you shall have lost all the information that you had, and that one is being eliminated by the Google Workspaces, because right now you can have your drive where you can store all your files, and in this drive you are able to access your files anytime you want them. You are able to create a folder within the drive. You're able to create. You're even able to upload videos within the drive, and the drive, it provides you with a storage of um, uh, maybe 5 GB, right? It's usually 5 GB. Let me confirm. How much storage does the drive usually provide? How much GB? I've forgotten. So once you've used that GB, man, the free GB, then it means now you'll have to you'll have to purchase more storage. So just to let you know that I will pause and I just address all your questions. So don't worry about the questions that are coming up. I will pause and address them. So let us look at securing your data and files. So you can store documents, files, and data on the cloud via Google Drive. You can use Admin Console to centralize your administration. Use integrated cloud identity feature to manage users and set up security options. You can also protect your organization with security analytics and best practice recommendation within the security center. And you can also identify and prevent threats with Google powered AI. So AI, we are talking about artificial intelligence. So now let us look at how you can create your Google Workspace account. First, you need to visit Google. You need to visit Google Workspace .google.com sign up center starter pack. You need to Google. You need to visit this. You need to visit that. Once you visit that, you need to input your business name. So, for instance, if you are maybe Hardisville Hotel or if you are Skylight Hotel, you need to input your business details. The third step, you need to add your contact details, your phone number. Then you need to choose your domain name. So if it is Skylight, then probably it will be www.skylight.com or www.skylight.et. So you add or you choose your domain name, then you update your business information. So when you're talking about business information, we are talking about the business name, the number of employees, and even the location. Once you've done that now, the sixth step, which is the final step, is you need to set up your logging details. So logging details, you need to choose your username and the password. So you need to choose a username and a password. So most probably, if it is Skylight, your username could be Skylight as a username, and then you choose a password, and you ensure that the password that you're choosing is a password that is very, very strong, that nobody can hack easily. And for you to ensure that your password is strong, normally you have to ensure that your password is at least 8 characters, and within those 8 characters, there has to be a number from 0 to 9. And within those 8 characters, there has to be capital letter, caps. And within those two letters, there has to be special characters. We are talking about the question mark. We're talking about the hashtag. We have the hashtag. We are talking about in the art. Once you ensure that all that is incorporated, nobody will hack your password. So let us look at how to set up on Google Workspace. So we talked about creating you create your business email. So you don't need to add email addresses as a user account. Instead, you can create email aliases and create addresses for your business communication. So after that, now you can email aliases to mean. So for instance, the company is called Africa 108. And we have emails such as irabare@africa108.com. So those are the aliases. So we have Naol Idesa at africa108.com. So if the company is Skylight, we can have Habtamu at skylight.com. So if the company is called Ethio Telecom, so we can have Kiros at ethiotelecom.com. So those are called aliases. So what aliases has is your name and also your domain name. So it takes up the part for the domain name and the part for your email name. So you can also add team members. You can also add team members and users into the group. So before So before people on your team can sign in and access your Google Workspace, they need a user account. So during your free trial period, you can create an account up to 10 user accounts during the trial period. To add more than 10 users, you must end your trial and sign up for a flexible or annual billing payment. So this tells you that there is the trial period, after which when the trial period is over, or if you want to add more than 10 people, then you have to try the flexible amount. And this amount is not usually very expensive. Once you've done that, now you can migrate your data and files. You can migrate your data and also import your files. So when switching to Google Workspace from another application or from another service, so remember, uh, we also have some email services providers. We have Yandex as an email service provider. We have webmails. We also have Outlook. So when you want to migrate from Yandex to Google Workspace, or when you want to migrate from Outlook to Google Workspace, what you need to do, you can import your data and file. So, and I've just mentioned that. So you can also upload all documents into your new Google Workspace drive to store your files securely. So the reason why having a Google Workspace is very important is because of the security. We've noticed that being online is okay, but as more and more people goes online, we also have people who are praying for people. I mean, not praying like this, but praying like people who are people who basically try to people with bad motives who wants to steal some data. It could be your credit data or your login, so that they can go in and steal some information or steal some resources or do some damage. So what Google Workspace does, it provides you with that security. So let me now let me now go through the questions that we have. So I've talked a lot, and this gives me the opportunity to go through some of the questions that we are having. Let me just go through the questions that are there. Let me see. To start with, let me start with the. Haha. Let me see if I can start with. I'm just going through the questions to see if we have a question. I can see Bekele saying, for your question, for my business, I'm thinking of Facebook. Okay. So, Bekele, remind me. So, you're thinking of Facebook. Maybe I will think of that question first. But thank you so much for your response. I can also see. I can also see. I can also see. So I can also see so many responses. I can also see so many responses. I just want to go through. Okay. Samuel is saying, so business is all about finding customers for your product, right? So how popular is this system to find customers? So thank you so much for your question. So remember, uh, when you're doing business, chances are you'll need to communicate with your customers. What Google Workspace Spaces provide you with is the improved communication bit, and through improved communication, we've talked about using Gmail to email. We've talked about having meetings through Google Meet, and we talked about just quick chats through Hangout, and that is how this Google Workspace is going to be very, very crucial for you. And also, we've talked about records. So when you're doing business, you'll have records, and these records, you need to find somewhere to store them. And we've talked about the drive where you can, store your data on the drive. And we've also talked about, as a business person, you'll need to have the information about your client or your customers. And how do you find those customers? It is through the Google form that I shared. So through that Google form, people will be putting the information, and then you'll be storing them on Google Sheet. So that is how this Google Workspace is very, very important for your business. I hope that answered your question, Samuel. So I can, Pius was saying 15 GB. Thank you so much, Pius, for reminding me. So after utilizing this 15% GB, no GB, then now you'll have to go to you'll have to go for the flexible package. So Beckel is saying, how could we manage privacy issue once we let things run on cloud, especially company privacy? So let me tell you, cloud security is one of the best security so far, and that is the one that Google is using. So in the cloud security, the chances of you being hacked or something is very minimal because of the security that has been enhanced. So that is why you find even these tools that we're talking about, they're easily accessible on cloud, and cloud ensures that security. I can see Bekele saying this is very reassuring. Thank you so much. So Yomiyu Tadase is joining from Bishoftu. Thank you so much for joining. I can see Teferi saying, for promotion, I get Telegram very simple. What do you think? So it's all about what works for you. If Telegram works for you, well and good. But remember, so through Telegram, how do you store your customer information or details? So as you think about that, let me quickly jump into the second session, which is boost communication across your business. And let me ask you the question: which tools can you use via Google Communication to boost? So, which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost your communication? As you think about those questions, think about Gmail, think about Google Meet, think about the Courage, think about Chat. So, these are the key communication tools. Google Gmail, which most of you are using, Google Meets, Google Currents, and even Google Chat. So when you're talking about Gmail, which you guys know, we are talking about, you communicate globally with ease using free Google email tool. So has anybody been charged by Gmail for emailing using Gmail? So Gmail are free. You can send files and attachments through Gmail. You can also create groups and emailing lists through Gmail. You can also access the integrated calendar in order to stay connected and up to date. You you can also use calendar for both personal and team use, right? So you can build customer trust by giving everyone in your company a professional Gmail address at your domain. Something like Joe at africaonline.com or Joe at daraja.com. You can also suggest simple actions such as smart reply or smart compose or grammar suggestion. So when you're using Gmail, and then you're typing, you have some type of errors. Gmail has a way of telling you that this is a type of error. Click onto it too, and when you click onto it, it will suggest the correct spelling. So and also right now, so Gmail works great with desktop applications such as Microsoft Outlook, Apple Mail, and Mozilla Thunderbird. And you can also migrate your email from Outlook, Exchange, or Lotus easily with customized tools that help preserve your important messages. Right. So now let us look at Google Meet, for instance. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. So I want us to see how you can schedule a calendar through Meet. So let me just stop sharing the slide and share my calendar. So I can go to my calendar. Let me see. I can go to my calendar. Perfect. So let me share my calendar now, so that you can see how do you schedule a meeting using a calendar, and through this calendar, how do you link it with the Google Meet. So this is my calendar, for instance. So is it visible? So just give me a thumbs up if it is visible. All right. So there goes my calendar. So if I want to schedule a meeting, I will go to my calendar, say, okay, I want a meeting today, but I want it to be at 4. I will just go and click at 4, and that is what you see. So when you see this, I will say trial, huh? Trial. So let me just say meeting. I will say meeting, and then it will ask you what time do you want it to be. I will say starting from 4. I will choose 4 p.m. I will choose 4 p.m. 4 p.m. for instance. So this is 4 p.m. and I want it to end at 5. And I will say, do I want it to repeat? No. So I can say, okay, I can say I want it to repeat or not to repeat, or I can say I want it I want us to have this meeting weekly on a Saturday or monthly or something. But I would just want to say I do not want it to repeat, and then I will come to add guest. So remember, you guys were sending me that form you are filling. I will go to that form and go to the responses and pick your emails. I will come and pick your emails. So I will come and pick your emails and then invite you guys. So I will come, Pius. I will just come and say, Pius, come back to my calendar and add Pius as a guest. So that is Pius. So when I do that, I will enter. I've invited Pius. I will go back and say, okay, we had Bekele Woku signing. I will come and say add Bekele Woku as a guest. Bekele Woku, also add Bekele Woku. I can go back and add who else do we have? We had also Meron. So I'll go to Meron and click Meron and add Meron here as a guest. Meron. When I do that, and then I can say join with Meet. So this is now, it means it has already been incorporated with Meet, and this is now the Meet link. This is now the Meet link, and it's telling me it can only accommodate up to 100. So once I've done that now, I will come and say save, and then it will tell you to send an email. So when I click send, when you look at your emails, you'll find a notification for a meeting. All right. So when you do that now, I will. So when it reaches 4, I will just come to my meeting and say, okay, it was at 10. Let me copy my Meet link. This is the Meet link, and this Meet link I will just post it here. I will paste it here. The Meet link. So this is the Meet link. This is the Meet link, and then I will paste it here. And when it reaches 4 exactly, then we shall start the meeting. So this is now we'll start the meeting. So of course, I will say. So right now, Pius and the rest have not joined. But when they join, we'll have a meeting, and then I will know. I'll just have them here joining, and then we can have a video call or something. So right. So let me see if somebody can join. I sent an invitation to somebody. Pius was one of them. I sent an invitation also to Bekele. I sent an invitation to also somebody. So when they join, you'll just definitely see them here, and then we start a meeting. That is how now calendar has been incorporated with Meet, and now through there we can have so many. We can have meetings. Yes. How cool is that? Perfect. Somebody has joined. Pius has joined. So you see now we are 2. And from there now we can start the meeting. The meeting can proceed, and and the meeting can go on. How cool is that? Perfect. So let me now go to my slide. Let's now proceed. to the slide, we were talking about, you know, Meet, and I've just shown you how, in fact, I've just shown you how Meet works. That demonstration, what I've just demonstrated as just, we've just talked about Meet in foot. Somebody's still joining, huh? Somebody has just joined. I can see, Bekele Woku has just joined. Perfect. Let me share with you the screen because Bekele has just joined and I want us to be part of this training. So let me share with you in the meeting. Bekele has just joined, so let me share with you. Nice, perfect. So let me share with you the screen now, so that we can see how cool is so this is the meeting, right? So are you able to see that? Yes. So now, if you were to have a meeting with Bekele, I'll just say, "Hi, Bekele. How are you today? You want to talk about this?" And I can also share. A document. I can present now, and I will just, if there was a document that we need to work on, for instance, I will just share this document. I can say, okay, let me share tab, and this tab, let me share this tab with Bekele. Let me share trial form with Bekele. Right. So I can also share, and you can see what happens. So when I click on share, Bekele will be able to see what I'm sharing. It's coming. It's coming. Yes, you see now it's taking time to, and so now, yes, so that is how cool, how cool Meet is. Thank you so much, Bekele, for joining. So you've helped us to demonstrate how Google Meet works. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So moving on to we were talking about Meet, and we've just explained a few things about Meet. The fact that you're able to, you're able to have 100 people joining. You can keep your team connected, and then also you can take advantage of, the secure by design infrastructure. You can also, Meet is fully integrated with Google Workspace, so you can join meetings directly and all that. So now let us look at currents. So how many of you have used currents before? And what is currents for those of you who have used it? Have you guys ever heard about currents? Has anybody ever heard about currents? So if you've never heard about it, now when I talk about Google Currents, we're talking about a tool that engages employees. It fosters more meaningful conversations, and you stay connected. So you work towards a common goal. You can build a community, and you can ensure employees can communicate their ideas and receive instant feedback. So if I have time, I'm going to demonstrate how currents work. So if you go to the family of apps that I shown you, and you search currents, you should be able to find currents. And here, charts. So within Gmail, or within Meet, there is a part for the chat. You're able to chat directly from there. So from the direct messages to group conversations, Google Chat helps teams and businesses communicate fluidly and efficiently from anywhere. So you can securely connect with anyone you work with. You can take group work or take or work to the next level. And chat is offered on Google Workspace customers at no additional cost. You can also drive. You can also. I'm pretty sure you've interacted with the drive. I mean chat. So now let us look at top tips to maximize your communication. Top tips to maximize your communication. So you can recreate in-person communication that you can find on Google Meet. You can stay organized. You can create teams, mailing lists, and you can also set up a project or communicate, or you can set up projects or communicate with team rooms. right? So the first step, you can also recreate in-person communication. So in that, you can schedule regular team calls and check-ins via Google Meet and Hangout. You can connect with colleagues and which you've done. You can also brainstorm ideas, work on team projects, and hold virtual events. And you can also join mobile and desktop applications. So you remember even with Zoom, when you don't have an app, it tells you join with the browser. Same with Meet. So there is a Meet application, and then now there is the desktop application, which is now the browser application. So let us look at stay organized. So you can improve communication across teams through Google Meet. You can create multiple team calendars to track meetings. So like for me in a day, I usually have like 4 meetings. So calendar keeps on reminding me that okay, at this particular time you have a meeting, and then I'll be getting notifications so that I don't forget that I have a meeting. You can improve visibility and organization by ensuring all team members remain connected. You can spend less time planning and more time doing with shareable calendars. You can also schedule events quickly. So, for instance, we can decide to have this training on a Google Meet. Well, all I need to do is just have all your email address, schedule a training, and you can have the training on Google Meet. So you can also view and edit your schedule from your phone, your tablet. You can also optimize mobile apps. You can also synchronize with your phone calendar. How cool is that? So let us look at how to you creating team emailing list. So you can create a Google Groups email list. You can also be sending status updates. We can also be sharing resources and also increase visibility and foster communication. Setting up projects or teams. So what team rooms helps with? It's help team members stay connected by creating a room in Google Chat or in a Google email, and you can encourage your members to network with each other, share project ideas. You can also exchange thoughts on best practices, and you can also create a stronger sense of a community. So, do we have a question up to that point? Do you have a question up to that point? If we don't have, let me see if you have a question. I saw Kiros talking about have a question. Let me see. Uh-huh. Let me see if we have. Henok says he has never heard of current. So that is why this training is very important. So now you know what current does and how can you use current to help you manage your teams. So remember, there is so much more. So there's another one called Jumbo Board, and this Jumbo Board is also very cool, especially for kids who have an interest in, interest in, arts or drawing. So let us look at, how to leverage on tools to increase your collaboration. So which tools can you use on Google Workspace to increase collaboration? Which tools can you use on Google Workspace to increase collaboration? Is it Meet? Is it Jamboard? Now, so with projects and teams, you can use Workspace, Google Workspace to brainstorm ideas. You can also use it to share working files. You can also use it to make suggestions and tag colleagues, You can also use it to track changes. So let us look at Jambo Board. So guys in the chat box, have you ever heard about Jambo Board? Or is it a new application that you're hearing about it for the first time, or is something that you've interacted with before? So when you're talking about Jambo Board, we're talking about, you how to harness the power of digital whiteboards to share ideas and improve or brainstorm. So let me show you how Jambo Board works. And have you heard about Jambo Board, Jambo Board, Jambo Board? Is this your first time hearing about Jambo Board? So let me share my screen and. Jumbo board. I'm trying to look for jumbo board. Awesome. So confirm that you're able to hear my screen. You're able to see my screen. So I want to create a new Jumbo board. Let me leave. All right. So I want to create a new Jumbo board. So what I do is I go to create new Jumbo board, create new, and then it loads, and then I give it a name. I can say let it be called. Uh, let it be called. Let it be called. What name can we use for it? Let it be called cat. Cat, and say okay. So in this Jumbo board, I want to draw a cat. All I need to do, I come and click here and say, okay, I want to draw a cat, but I want to draw a red cat. So I'm say, okay, let it be a red cat, and I want to choose this. And how do cats usually? No, let me not draw a cat. Let me draw human being. Human being. So human being with somebody with a head like this, and then we have eyes. So we have eyes. You also have eyes, and then we have some neck. So I'm not good at drawing. I'm just showing you how Jumbo board works. And there's neck, and then we have the shoulders. We have somebody with the shoulder, something like that looks like this. So for some for for most of you who are interested in arts, you can do a better job than me. And then we have somebody with the legs, somebody with the legs, and I will say, okay, let me change the color of the hands to be blue. And I say, okay, now let's have this guy to have a blue hands, to have a blue hands. Right. Do we have a human being, or this is something not close to human being? Is it something similar to human being, or it's way, 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 way different from human being? So, so, so if you are drawing and you feel like the hands are not okay, you come to eraser. You want to erase it. I'll say, okay, the hands are not well erased, so let me erase the hands. Also, let me erase the legs. Erase. But if I'm not, if I don't like the background, what I do, I come here and set the background and say, okay, let's try this background. How does it look? Not good. How does this background look? Not good. How does this background look? You can have a background like that. Or you can come and just say, okay, and then you come and say, this is human being. Human, let me change the background first. I don't think this background is okay. I don't think this background is okay. So you can undo changes. Let me undo changes so that I can have a nice background. Okay. I can come and say, okay, and say this is human being. This is human being. This is human being. Does the image look like human being? Let's put some legs. Let's put some this one. Yes, 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 yes. So now, I'm not good at drawing, so that is why it's coming out like that. But for you, you can do a better job. You can do so. In fact, this one you can do a lot of creatives with it. You can even, come up with a design of a car, come up with a design of a house, and so much more. So that is how Jumbo Board is so cool. And just explore these tools. There is nothing wrong with exploring these tools, and you know where to find where to find the Jumbo Board. So perfect. So I hope that gives you a brief idea of what Jumbo Board does. If you want to highlight your idea in a graphical manner, you just use a Jumbo Board. If you want to draw somebody and you want to make somebody who has a suit and has some nice shoes, you can do that on Jumbo Board, right? So let's move forward. Let's move forward and look at the Google Drive. So Google Drive. what so I'm pretty sure that most of you have used Google Drive before. You've stored files on Google Drive, and uh, so when you want to relocate your file, it's very easy for you to relocate. So Google Drive, we store files on the cloud via Google Drive. By enabling, so it's enable you to share working document presentations and sheets with ease. You can also encourage collaborations and work from one central place in a Google Drive. So Google Workspace provides flexible storage options. You'll always have enough space for your files. But if you usually have videos, then it means after 15 GB, you'll have to buy. So you can use shared drive to store your team's work in an easy to manage spaces. Now, so remember we talked about making suggestions and tagging colleagues. So you can also use docs to tag colleagues. So you can also edit shared documents in real time, reducing the need to send files back and forth. You can also suggest changes. You can also comment with ideas, and you can also tag colleagues to increase visibility and boost posts. So remember, I tagged Naol into a sheet where we were using, and we were able to work on that sheet together. So you can simply, so if you want to tag a colleague, you can simply type at followed by the name of your colleague in your organization, and you'll have an option of the name of your colleague appearing, and then you select him. You can also reply to comments, track changes so that you can improve them before the implementation. So let us look at how to track changes. So if you're collaborating with several people on a single file, it can be difficult to pinpoint who made certain changes and when were the changes made. What you need to do, you can keep track of those changes in a shared files by identifying changes and who made them. You can also revert to the previous version, so you can undo the changes. And also, so Google Workspace enables you to view all edits made to your document and files. So if you want to review changes made, all you need to do is open your file on a Google Drive, go to the file, go to the version history, and then see history. Is that clear? You go to the file, you go to the sheet, you select the slide, you go to the file, under file, and you click on the file, there is now the version history. And when you click on the version history, you'll see, you can see the history. But note, you need to be an owner for you to access the file. Right? So let me see if we have questions. Do we have questions? I know the sessions has really gone beyond time, but I just want to see if we have, questions coming along. Perfect. I can see Enoch saying, oh, Johannes is joining. I can see Enoch saying that, so Joseph Magola is saying, I've heard about a link client. How can I make this for conducting my online business? The link client, so to be honest, let me revert back to you on that, to the link client. So I haven't used it before, but so if we have guys who have used this link client, how does it really operate? So if you've used link client, what is it and how does it really operate? So thank you so much, Joseph, for bringing that up. I can also see, Enoch saying, I've never heard of currents. Thank you so much. Samuel saying super cool. Nice. So if you don't have any question, what is your next step? What are your next steps after taking this session? So for me, I would urge you to talk about these sessions on our various social media platforms using the hashtag Grow with Google. Talk about the session that we learned about, how to implement Google Workspaces for your business. We talked about Jumbo Board, we talk about Drive, we talk about, currents, we talk about Meets, we talk about, we talk about so many products. Talk about them. Say that on a Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m., we discussed about these tools and how awesome these tools are. So, also, I would really just want to encourage you guys to visit Learn Digital or Learn Grow with Google page and learn more about the session that we've just discussed. Also, follow us on our various social media pages. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we are also on. So we are on Twitter, LinkedIn, on we are also on so LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we're also on YouTube as well. And don't forget to like the AFCONET YouTube channel. So that is where now you'll be getting notification. You will be getting notified um, if you're having upcoming trainings. Right. So this is now the final stretch of the session, and at this point, I'd just love to give a shout out to the guys who who were with us right from the beginning to the end. And the chat was really really active. I appreciate you guys for just being with us, asking questions, engaging, and also keeping now so much busy. And I just want to say I'm a Seginalo to you all, and see you tomorrow at maybe at about 3 tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys. It's always a pleasure being with you, and see you tomorrow.